This is an abomination. Because of this your problem, the marriage will be over.
You can literally feel the tension in the air as Lisa's voice starts to crack, her hands shaking, her eyes darting between Daniel and his uncle like she already knows what's about to happen, and then it hits. Daniel's uncle doesn't hold back. He looks her straight in the eye and says the words that completely shatter everything: the engagement is over. And just like that, Lisa crumbles. Before we dive deeper into this emotional roller coaster, make sure you hit that subscribe button because stories like this, they only get crazier from here. Now, let's rewind for a second, because this didn't just happen out of nowhere. This moment was building for a long time, and honestly, if you've been following this situation, you could feel the explosion coming. Lisa arrived in Nigeria thinking she was finally going to secure her future with Daniel. She believed that no matter what they had been through, no matter the arguments, the secrets, the tension, they would make it work. That love would win. That she could smooth things over with Daniel's family, especially his uncle, who holds serious influence. But what she didn't fully understand, or maybe chose to ignore, is just how deeply rooted tradition and values are in Daniel's family. And more importantly, how her past would be received. Because the moment the truth started coming out, everything changed. It started with whispers, then questions, then direct accusations. Daniel's uncle had clearly done his homework. He wasn't guessing. He wasn't speculating. He knew details about Lisa's previous marriages, her relationships, and the part that would shake the room the most, her past involvement with women. You can see Lisa trying to hold it together as the conversation shifts. At first, she tries to explain. She tries to downplay it. She tries to reframe her story in a way that sounds less shocking, less threatening. But the more she talks, the worse it gets. And here's the thing that people online are saying, and honestly, it's hard to ignore: this wasn't just about what Lisa did. It was about what she didn't say. Because Daniel is sitting there, clearly blindsided. His face says it all. Confusion, hurt, betrayal. It's like he's hearing a completely different version of the woman he thought he knew. And that's where everything starts to spiral. Lisa insists that her past doesn't define her. She says people grow, people change, people move on. And to be fair, that's something a lot of us can relate to. Who hasn't had a chapter in their life they'd rather not explain in detail? Who hasn't made choices they wish they could rewrite? That's the "me too" moment that hits hard here. Because on some level, you feel her panic. That desperate need to be accepted, to not be judged entirely on your past. But at the same time, Daniel's uncle is not having it. Not even a little bit. He doesn't see this as growth or change. He sees it as deception, as disrespect, as something that should have been disclosed from the very beginning, especially in a situation involving marriage. And then comes the cultural clash. Because for Daniel's uncle, this isn't just about Lisa and Daniel. This is about family reputation, tradition, values that have been passed down for generations. And in that moment, he makes it very clear, this situation is unacceptable. Lisa tries one last time to defend herself. Her voice gets louder, more emotional, almost pleading. She says she loves Daniel. She says she came all this way for him. She says she's willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. But you can feel it slipping away. Daniel isn't jumping in to defend her the way she expected. He's quiet, distant, processing, and that silence, it's louder than anything. Then the uncle drops the bomb. He says the engagement cannot continue. That it ends here. That this is not a situation their family can accept. And that's the exact moment Lisa breaks. She goes from defensive to devastated in seconds. Tears, shaking, disbelief. You can almost hear her thinking, this can't be happening. Not like this. And fans online, they are completely divided. Some people are saying Lisa is being unfairly judged. That her past is her business. That love should be about the present, not the past. But others are saying, this isn't about judgment, it's about honesty. That Daniel deserved to know everything before getting this deep. That trust is the foundation, and once that cracks, everything else follows. And honestly, both sides make valid points. Because this situation isn't black and white. It's messy, emotional, human. Lisa keeps trying to salvage the moment. She looks at Daniel, hoping he'll step in, say something, defend her, choose her. But he doesn't. Instead, he looks torn. You can see the internal battle happening in real time. His feelings for Lisa versus the weight of his family's expectations. His heart versus his upbringing. And this is where it gets even more intense. Because Lisa starts begging, not calmly, not quietly, but desperately. She asks for another chance. She promises transparency. She says she'll prove herself. That she'll earn their trust. And this is the part that really hits people watching. Because it's raw, it's uncomfortable. It's that moment where pride disappears and all that's left is fear of losing someone you love. But Daniel's uncle remains firm. There's no negotiation, no compromise, no middle ground. And then, something shifts. Daniel finally speaks. But instead of defending Lisa the way she hoped, he questions her. He asks why she didn't tell him everything. Why he had to hear it this way. Why it feels like there's always something new coming out. And you can see Lisa's face just drop. Because at that moment, she realizes, she's not just losing the uncle's approval. She might be losing Daniel too. And that realization, it hits harder than anything else. The conversation turns colder, more distant, less emotional and more final. Lisa tries to explain again, but now it feels different. Less convincing, more like damage control. Daniel's responses become shorter, more guarded, and you can literally feel the connection between them breaking in real time. Fans on social media were quick to point this out. One comment that blew up said, "It's not what she did, it's that she waited too long to be honest." And honestly, that sums up the entire situation. Because trust isn't just about truth. It's about timing. And in this case, the timing couldn't have been worse. Now here's where things take an even more shocking turn. Just when it feels like everything has already come out, there's one more layer. Something Lisa didn't fully address earlier. Something that makes the situation even more complicated. Because it's revealed that her past wasn't just distant history, it was more recent than she initially suggested. And when that detail comes out, that's it. Whatever chance she had left, disappears. Daniel looks completely done. Not angry, not yelling, just done. And that quiet detachment, it's way more powerful than any argument. Lisa tries to respond, but at this point, it's like she knows it's over. The fight is gone, the hope is fading, and the reality finally sets in. This isn't just a rough patch. This is the end. The engagement that she traveled across the world for, the future she imagined, the relationship she fought to hold on to. Gone in a single conversation. And what makes it even more heartbreaking is that it didn't have to happen this way. If the truth had come out earlier, if the conversation had happened differently, if expectations had been clearer from the start, maybe things could have been different. Or maybe not. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about two people. It was about culture, values, timing, trust, and the consequences of keeping secrets too long. And that's why this story is hitting so many people so hard. Because it's not just about Lisa and Daniel. It's about that universal fear, that one day, the truth you've been avoiding might catch up to you at the worst possible moment. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Lisa was treated unfairly, or do you believe Daniel and his uncle made the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one is seriously dividing opinions. And if you want more emotional, jaw-dropping stories like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.
What do you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.